Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Let's get into our cozy vibes and let's journal together. I have a candle lit for this little catch-up session. I realized that I haven't really given that much attention to my main journal, which is the Diarist. I just feel like with everything happening this 2022, it just felt like I kept moving apartments and moving journals, and I've been neglecting using this journal a lot. I'm trying to figure out why. Maybe it's the big space, maybe I've graduated from A5, who knows, but also because the past few months I didn't have a printer and now I finally do, so that gave me more motivation to actually catch up on journaling. And I think because I've been traveling frequently, it hasn't been easy to just sit down and journal. But I do want to share with you this new pen that I got. It's a Kaweco Sport in fine nib. It's the regular green one that they have. I finally caved in and bought one because I had the macchiato one for the longest time, and it's the only one in my pen collection that actually has silver trim, so I decided to go on full gold. So I'm gonna destash that soon, but I wanted to use the new prompt stickers from the Diarist Volume 2, which included this TV and film review one, and I finally got back into my K-drama bubble, but it has been short-lived though. I've watched Extraordinary Attorney Woo as well as this W 2 Worlds Apart with some friends. And it's just been a while because like November has been very overwhelming for me. Like everyone's asking like, how was your fall season? It was very busy, to say the least. I feel like I haven't really gotten enough time to take a step back, but I'm enjoying a lot of new things in my life. And also catching up on the journal means that I'm giving myself enough space to actually sit down and reflect on everything that's been happening. By the way, this pen is inked with Pelikan Edelstein Olivine, and it's my new current favorite green ink. On to the next spread. You've probably seen my Pelikan M400 that I rarely show on videos, or have I? Because I got it earlier this year and I will do an updated fountain pen video maybe next year. We'll figure it out, but in conjunction with that, I also had uploaded a video on journaling for short trips using the Traveler's Notebook passport size. I actually switched out the cover for a regular dark brown one, which is why I have the packaging over here, because I just felt like it needed to have its own place. And I actually really enjoy journaling with passport now, which is a new thing that I unlocked over the fall season because I mixed it in conjunction with sketching and painting while traveling because I wanted to do both. So that's something I'm definitely going to share with you in future videos. But I've been actually enjoying using this pen quite a lot because lately I've inked it with Robert Oster Khaki and it writes like butter. I also noticed that it matches the pen body in general. So I also got a brass charm from an old Traveler's Notebook collection, I think like 2019 or so. So I used that up. I'll show you what my cover looks like in future videos. In Germany, Thanksgiving is not really a thing, but I wanted to create a sort of Thanksgiving spread to just write stuff that I've been grateful for the past November, because I feel like it's been quite a whirlwind of a year for me, and there are just some things that needed to be given a bit of attention, or at least recognition, in terms of like how things have been turning out. And I've been enjoying, actually when I make printables, they're actually for me because I made a set of autumn printables that you can access on Patreon, so I wanted to include that in my journal somehow. And I also wanted to do a mental health check-in, so the spreads are basically just me reporting about my life as per usual. And I took out my Pilot Custom 823 fountain pen, which is inked with the OG Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi. So if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while now, you know that my OTP, not one-time password, but one true pairing, is the Pilot Custom 823 in amber fine nib, which is my grill pen, and it's the pen that you're seeing on the screen, as well as the ink Pilot Iroshizuku Tsukushi. I just feel like it's a perfect match. So I'm writing out all the things that happened in November. I really had a lovely Sunday with my two friends, Keisha and Glow. We went to Treptower Park, which is like near my place, and we decided to have a little photo shoot. And also, they ambushed me, and I had to learn how to ride a bike in a very tight skirt. So that wasn't very successful, but I managed to balance. So that was like one thing that I've been really grateful for. And actually, that day was very significant for me because it was the full moon and I did a draw, and the draw was very unexpected, to say the least, but it has ended up being a really bright spot to my very otherwise dark autumn season. Literally dark, because the sunlight is like nowhere to be found. In mental health news, I feel like there have been a lot of changes in the way I think these days. I've also been navigating new life changes, which I'm still working on, which is great because I'm very happy about how things are folding out, or how things are unfolding. Do you say folding out? I don't think so. But I also mix the printables I have with Job's printables and also stickers from Kiroku Studio. They have like cozy autumn stickers that I got a couple months back. I was really prepared for autumn with stickers and stationery. I really have an autumn collection and I really enjoyed it because part of me is like, I think having stickers for every season is a good way to categorize and have like a capsule stationery collection. So that's something I definitely want to work on. It's also my first time experiencing autumn as it unfolds in a new city. Like, I've been through winter, spring, summer, autumn because I moved in the winter. So it's like this is the cultivating season for me, because for the winter this December I'm actually back home in the Philippines, but it's just nice to sort of encapsulate that. I feel like I maxed out my fall and mentally I'm still in autumn, like early autumn, like September, October, because I feel like those were the really prime months, especially October with all the leaves turning yellow and orange, and the weather was just overall very great. So here is another spread that I wanted to catch up on, which is so funny because winter started to come into the picture. There was this like one, I think it was like mid-November or so. It just started snowing outside. And I felt like it was such a either Gilmore Girls moment or what's this? There's this scene in Edward Scissorhands where Winona Ryder just dances around in snow that Edward Scissorhands was cutting with his hands that are made of scissors. So I felt that. I was basically that. And then this pen is the Kaweco student in 20s Jazz, and I recently replaced it with a medium nib because the EF nib fell basically on the floor and it was not cool, so I had to replace it. And I'm currently inking it with Diamine Terracotta, which was suggested by Connor. So this is like a very fall color, and I haven't been checking out Diamine. Do you say Diamine or Diamine? Please correct me in the comments. But I haven't been checking out Diamine inks for a while, so it was a nice, refreshing going back for me, because I started using Diamine inks during my first few months of using fountain pens in 2021. But also, I think I haven't bought a really big bottle of Diamine until this bottle. I was basically enabled, so knowing how gullible I am, I bought it. But I really like it, to be fair, and I wanted to use that for these spreads. So on the left hand side, I had this entire night that I just wanted to be a full-on potato and journal. So I played Taylor Swift's Long Pond Sessions, like folklore Long Pond Sessions. I really like that specific movie. Is it a movie? Is it a film? Something like that. And then on the right hand side, that was I think the next day where I experienced the whole snow thing and also met up with my pen friends. It's so nice to say that I have pen friends. We have a little community of pen and fountain pen ink and journal lovers in Berlin. So we're 4 now, and we met up in the afternoon at a cafe and we just journaled, shared some inks, talked about different new inks and pens, and it's just nice to test things around. And I'm very grateful that I got to meet them, which is funny because I met them at Moranga, which is a stationery store that I really love in Berlin. Like, I was just like standing there talking, and one of them comes to me and says like, "Hi, are you actually Abbey Sy? Because I recognized your voice thanks to YouTube." So that was a funny story of how we met. The other one is my best friend Vanny, who I introduced to Tati and Maggie, who are the two lovely women I met at Moranga. So we also did a lot of swatching. I think I started a new swatch book. My memories have been really hazy these days, but I started a new swatch book and I will share it in a future video. I've just been lacking in the time department as always, because time is just too short. I just don't have enough time, but I started swatching and I do want to continue swatching when I get back to Berlin. I think one thing that I love about being cozy is the fact that, like, yeah, it's very cold. The only thing that I don't like is the amount of sunlight that I don't get, because it's kind of funny how we are so spoiled in the summer that the sun sets at like 9 p.m. and it's very hot, and the light is like very bright up until like 7 or 8 p.m. and now I literally have to light my entire room. I have like lights on all sides of my room so that I make sure that everything is well lit. It kind of mimics the sunlight actually. I have a friend who actually still gave me her lamp that has like sunlight. You can adjust the lighting so it feels like there's like light coming through the windows. So yeah, I've been mentioning it before because I just moved and I'm still getting used to the 4 seasons that I have seasonal depression. Nowadays it's a bit better. It's just easier to sort of get used to things. But yeah, it's always nice to go back to journaling. I feel like after doing a bunch of spreads, it feels like, oh yeah, okay, I can like close that chapter and like move on with life. Here are some of the finished spreads that I did. So I generally like to do my decorating or like deco work beforehand. That's why I just do all the writing after. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this little cozy journaling catch up. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Always be creating. Bye!